So I guess it's time to talk about Year 5 of Pokémon Go. I find that as each year passes by, I am less enthusiastic about playing the game. In the first year, I basically did nothing but eat, sleep, and play Pokémon Go. But in the 5th year, I perceive the game to be more as a series of interruptions. Whenever a community day or research quest line occurs, it diverts my attention away from my obsessive crusade to thoroughly catch up to the Legend of Zelda series. Starting in late 2020 and during the entirety of 2021 so far, I've been working through a giant pile of Zelda games, and sort of Zelda games. I started by playing through Twilight Princess HD in Hero Mode doing the Ganondorf Amiibo Challenge playthrough, and then I played Minish Cap to 100% completion. This was followed by my completing actual cartridges of A Link to the Past and Zelda 2, and then I played through Zelda 2 in Japanese because it's different. I completed a run of Breath of the Wild's Master Mode on the Wii U, where I didn't do any additional shrines besides the ones on the Great Plateau. I got the Hylian Shield on my Hero Mode completionist file of Skyward Sword, and I played through Cadence of Hyrule essentially 3 different times, once in regular mode, another in Symphony of the Mask, and lastly in Octavio's Ode. I played through Skyrim on the Switch using the Master Sword, Hylian Shield, and Champion's Tunic. I completed a Majora's Mask cartridge in less than 72 real-world hours. And I played through a translation of an old Game Boy game referenced in Link's Awakening called For the Frogs, the Bell Tolls. I put about 410 hours into Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, and in that I got all the medals and did basically everything in the game. I also played through just the story of the basically identical game Hyrule Warriors Legends on the 3DS. I managed to finally bring Oracle of Ages and Seasons to 100% completion, and that required me to play through the story of each game 3 times. I played an English translation of the second Chibi Robo game for the Nintendo DS, called Chibi Robo Clean Sweep. In that game, a little robot makes a deal with the devil to perform necromancy, and I vacuumed up a segment of the Triforce from a pile of dirt. I played through Diablo 3 on the Switch, and transmogrified myself into Ganondorf by the end of the story. Of course, I completely completed Scribblenauts Unlimited on the Wii U, Super Mario Maker 1 and 2, the mysterious Murasame Castle for some reason, Tetris DS, emulated frame by frame because I'm not good at Tetris, Monster Hunter Stories, and Samurai Warriors 3. Also, I recorded a playthrough of Wind Waker from the perspective of the Tingle Tuner, and I'm part of the way through freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. As you can surmise, it's been a very busy year for me and my imaginary fight against Ganondorf and the forces of evil, so whenever my other imaginary fight against Team Go Rocket has to take priority, Ganondorf wins a little bit. That said, some really interesting developments occurred in Pokémon Go in the 5th year. Also, some less interesting ones. When Year 5 of Pokémon Go started, most of humanity was dealing with something called the COVID-19 pandemic. Due to the lack of a widely available vaccine, many people were adopting the strategy of physical distancing, and Pokémon Go was changing to accommodate this. For the most part, incentives for players to gather together were lessened with the suspension of EX raids and the introduction of remote raid passes. It was due to this feature that I was able to raid and capture the regional exclusive legendaries Uxie and Mesprit from raids in Japan and Europe respectively. When it comes to the other legendaries, I've been slacking. The 5th year introduced the ability to catch Kyurem.
There's Kyurems around these parts.
Therian Thunderous, Therian Tornadus, Therian Landorus, Xerneas, and Yveltal. But I forgot, or rather, I didn't care enough to catch all of these. I suppose I should catch the legendaries I'm missing in the upcoming Go Fest of 2021. But I can't guarantee this. GoFest 2020 was done remotely, and I was able to catch Victini. Victini Special Research was added later, too. GoFest 2021 is also being done remotely, and it looks like we'll be able to catch Meloetta. It may be that GoFest will be done remotely from now on, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Mythical Pokemon in Pokemon Go are a subject that greatly interests me. This year, connectivity between Pokémon Go and Pokémon Home finally happened. And while there are good aspects and bad aspects of this, on the whole, I would say it's a good thing. The method for moving Pokémon from Go to Home has been monetized for those who are not patient. Personally, this does not affect me, but I do have a different issue with the service. Any Pokémon caught in Pokémon Go can be sent to Pokémon Home unless it has a costume or is Spinda. Unlike Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which didn't allow for Mew to be transferred from Go, any mythical Pokémon can be sent from Go to Home. Unfortunately, there is still a limitation which may, for some, negate the potential benefits. Pokémon Go can only send a Pokémon to Pokémon Home if you have already obtained that Pokémon in some game which was connected to Home. So in other words, if you have never obtained a particular event Pokémon like Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, etc., if you strictly don't trade with other people, Pokémon Go will not allow you to obtain those mythical Pokémon in the main game, even if you obtain them from the special research in Go. This may seem like a minor point. After all, I was able to help my friend Puck send his Celebi from Pokémon Go to his copy of Pokémon Sword. I was just hoping that Pokémon Go would become a way that someone could start from zero and still get all of the event Pokémon that they missed at official events. Although, maybe that is too much to ask. It turns out that using this transfer method is the only way to obtain a gift Melmetal with the Gigantamax factor. Sort of recently, I went on my first intentional shiny hunt. I set up 4 3DSs, each with the Virtual Console version of Pokémon Crystal, and I tried to encounter a shiny Celebi. This happened very quickly because I had good luck, but it also gave me a taste of what it would be like to intentionally look for shiny mythical Pokémon. There was a special research in Pokémon Go which gave you shiny Celebi, and this was done to promote the movie about Zarude that I don't think we have in English yet. But I already had a shiny Celebi. There were periods of time this year when it was possible to raid shiny Deoxys and shiny Genesect. The odds of encountering a random shiny, legendary, or mythical in a raid is about 1 out of 20, so spending raid passes to encounter them is essentially gambling. But I had a lot of fun, and I ended up catching 4 shiny Deoxyses and 1 shiny Genesect under odds. I know that some people had ridiculously bad luck though, so it can be dangerous. I will probably go after shiny Darkrai next October if it comes back for Halloween again. I'll probably send my 4 shiny Deoxyses to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and change their forms in Veilstone City. I used my shiny Celebi in the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield, but that's another video that might take ages for me to edit. Costumes are still a thing in Pokemon Go. We have the Cantonian starters all wearing Pikachu hats, fashionable Krogunk, Kirlia, Shinx, and Smoochum, Pikachu with Ash's hat from Pokemon Journeys, which incidentally had a distribution event for the real game. Sableye and Gengar got weird Halloween costumes. I managed to earn Pikachu Libre this year from the Go Battle League. There was an Explorer's costume for Pikachu, Cubchoo with a bow, Pikachu with some kind of Christmas getup, a new kind of New Year's hat for Pichu, Pikachu, and Raichu, a Slowpoke with 2020 glasses that evolves into a Slowbro with 2021 glasses, Happiny, Chansey, and Blissey wearing flowers. I have heard that the hatch rate for Happiny was ridiculously small during that event. And I also heard that Pokemon Go has never made as much money as it did during the COVID-19 pandemic. This morning I caught the 5th anniversary Balloon Pikachu, and Pikachu apparently has a new costume specifically available only on the island of Okinawa. So if I dreamed of getting all of the costume Pokemon in Go, that dream is over. Speaking of broken dreams, this year Niantic introduced the Go Beyond update. It raised the level cap to level 50 and added an obscene amount of medals to the game. I used to try to get all of the golden medals in Pokemon Go, and even before this update, I would have argued that that particular ambition of mine was unreasonable. With this new update, Platinum medals have been added to the game. Platinum medals have even higher requirements than gold medals, and they often go beyond what is reasonable for a human to be doing. Keep in mind that it is me who is saying this. I'm the one who said I would get all of the Nook Mile achievements in Animal Crossing New Horizons. No problem. I'm the one who wrote down everything the dog sings in that game as well. I even got to the maximum levels in Splatoon and Splatoon 2. As a team, my friends and I obtained over 151 Arceus from Toys R Us. But this is too much. Napoleon once said, or maybe it was Empoleon, he said, and I quote, "A soldier will fight long and hard for a bit of colored ribbon." I think he was being pretty cynical at the time, but I know that I personally, as a non-soldier, had previously been working long and hard to change the color of my digital medals. I changed them from bronze to silver, and from silver to gold. I think it was Napoleon who said that, not Empoleon. If I remember correctly, Empoleon said, "It is sort of liberating to give up on an obsessive goal. That said, I still want to eventually get to level 50 in Pokemon Go. I'm not thrilled at the amount of EXP that this will require, but I'm sure I'll think of a good strategy." Team Go Rocket did some stuff this year. Hot air balloons were used to attack everyone every 6 hours indefinitely. I don't know how they have the budget to do that. Actually, yes I do. Niantic has been selling in-game items designed to fight, but not defeat Team Go Rocket. I believe that Niantic is in cahoots with Team Go Rocket. Even the Pokemon Go advertisements in the New York subway system that were graffitied by Team Go Rocket a few years back, well, they started off oddly worded to begin with. I think this was done to pre-accommodate the graffiti. This was planned from the start. Giovanni returned before September, and I believe he somehow got his hands on a Shadow Mewtwo. Later in Year 5, he had a Shadow Ho-Oh. Jesse and James of the Rocket Trio appeared in the game. I'm not so baffled by their appearance in the Pokemon Go universe, only that they use Shadow Pokemon. We know Jesse and James from the cartoon, and we can tell that they're not bad people. However, we also know that Pokemon in a shadow state go through, if not physical trauma, emotional trauma. This was why it was important for Wes and Michael to seek out and purify all the shadow Pokemon that they could find. It's just weird that Jesse and James would partake in their use. Red eggs were added to the game, and you can get them from Team Rocket admins. Luckily, these are not eggs of shadow Pokemon as I once feared. Community days this year were Ghastly, Magikarp, Porygon, Charmander, Electabuzz, Magmar, a mix of some previous community days, Machop, Rosalia, Fletchling, Snivy, Swablu, Gibble, and Tepig. A lot of these had paid research, which I did for fun, basically just to elongate my absurd list of completed research. New regional Pokemon include Klefki, which is exclusive to France, and Bouffalant, which is exclusive to the greater Unova region. I happen to live there, so that is nice for me, but not nice for the rest of the world. There were many events this year, but one that stood out to me was the event about new Pokemon Snap. It featured the many species of Pokemon that appear in the game. I'd like to say that I completed this game, and although it's a bit long, it's beautiful. And it's true to the original game, possibly to a fault. Collection challenges became a thing. These were periodic events where we would typically need to recapture every Pokemon on a list. The pinnacle of these collection challenges occurred when ticket holders could attempt to recapture the original 150 Pokemon over the course of one day. During this time, Pokemon that would normally be in other regions were available in raids. Technically, you had more than one day to do this, but it was only easy to do on the first day. Those who finished this Kanto challenge were given special research that would result in obtaining Shiny Mew. I earned the research, but I haven't yet finished it at the time of this recording. It won't take me much longer, though. There were several opportunities to obtain the Pokemon Unknown this year. Personally, I increased my collection of Unknown to 12 symbols out of the 28. Verizon had an event that allowed for the capture of V and Z. Grubhub had an event with the letters G and H. Enigma Week put U, L, T, R, and A in regular raids, so I got the U and R that I was missing out of those. And GoFest of 2020 allowed for the capture of G and O. Also, I got both of those as shinies. We got a form of Rotom, but we're still missing many more. Kecleon is still completely missing from the game, leaving Generation 3 incomplete. Genesect got its Fire Drive, but there are 3 others we're missing. Also, no one's heard about Pokemon Sleep in a while. Mega Pokemon were added to the game. I don't really use them, but you can acquire Mega Energy by raiding against Mega Pokemon, and it's a consumable resource that boosts a Pokemon's stats for a limited amount of time. Shiny Spearow was added to the game along with the shinies for every other Cantonian Pokemon. The earliest Pokemon in the Pokedex that still doesn't have a shiny in Pokemon Go is Hoot Hoot. And that's one of the few shiny Pokemon that I actually have in the real game. I caught it in Platinum. They added seasons to the game, which fundamentally change which Pokemon can appear in the wild at a given time. The different forms of Deerling are available in their respective seasons, but the season system can cause trouble for people trying to find particular Pokemon that don't appear in the current season. As I said before, I'm not really going to try to complete the Pokedex until almost every Pokemon is in the game, so this doesn't really affect me yet, and we're still a few years off from that, and so maybe we'll notice a pattern before I have to seek those Pokemon. I'm not sure what to make of Niantic's general knowledge of Pokemon. I've seen them reference deep lore, but also make some really obvious mistakes. I was impressed by a particular research task, which was, use 7 berries to catch a Pokemon, which resulted in an encounter with Miltank. That was a reference to Moo Moo Farm in Johto, north of Olivine City. At Moo Moo Farm, you have to feed a Miltank a lot of berries so that it would stop feeling sick. Likewise, some of the visuals for the Pokemon Go Beyond event used particular iconography involving the Pokemon Ho-Oh. Ash saw Ho-Oh on his first day as a Pokemon trainer, and he saw it again before heading to the Hoenn region. Ho-Oh symbolizes a new beginning, which is what the Go Beyond update is trying to be. So someone at Niantic clearly knows their stuff. But then sometimes they do some goofy things. During the Kanto Catch 'em All event, they put photos inside of the app itself, promoting the event, and that made everything really exciting. One of the images that they promoted contained a bootlegged copy of Pokemon Leaf Green version, and I thought that was just sort of funny. Niantic is working on a Pikmin mobile game, which is interesting. Other games I've heard about in this genre include Minecraft Earth, which is already ending. This past year I did play through Minecraft and I defeated the Ender Dragon. So where does this leave me on my Pokemon Go journey? I still want to get to level 50, but I'm only at level 45, and I need over 100 million more experience points. I guess I have to do it one step at a time. If you would like to help me, here is my friend code. You can get a lot of experience points for becoming ultra friends and best friends with people by exchanging gifts for 90 days. I'll assume that anyone who adds me in Pokemon Go wants to try to reach best friends. I work at a Pokestop, and so I'll try to send gifts to everyone on my friends list every day that I'm at work. I will also open any gifts sent to me if doing so would increase our friendship level by 1 day. On the day that we reach best friends, I would like to use a lucky egg, so that I can double the 100,000 EXP bonus. So please, before that happens, contact me on Twitter. I am @Zelgarath. Year 6 will probably be about the same as Year 5, but I could be wrong. Maybe even less will happen. I'll try to make some other videos this year, so look forward to that, and thank you for watching.